Okay, hey guys, this is Martin from howtomakemobilegames.com on December the 17th today, 2014. And this is a personal video, not to do with game development. So if you're looking for game development videos, then check out some of the other ones on the channel. This video is just a little bit about the culture of rules in China. I think that's what I'll title the video. But one of the things is with China is that it's kind of a developing nation, as most people will tell you, and Chinese people will also tell you. But it's so in that situation, I think some of the rules are not quite as firmly planted in the culture as say they are in England, because England, is there's a lot of rules in England. I don't really know how to sort of phrase that better. But one of the things I just wanted to point out that was interesting is if you look over here, this TV is playing a full movie, which is interesting. And guess what movie it is? It's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The new one, the new CG movie. Look. I've seen this movie in the cinema, and this is playing in a public mall, full quality DVD movie by the looks of it, and it has sound on it as well. Now that would never happen in England. This is the full Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie from 2014, and it's not even been released on any Blu-ray or DVD yet over in the West. So that's pretty normal here. Actually, no. Let me take that back. That's not normal here. That's the first time I've actually seen a full new movie played in a mall like this. But that's not surprising. I'm not surprised that that's happening. Obviously, we would never see that in the West. And in fact, on that screen just last week as well, I also saw what was the movie? Expendables 3 was playing on there, and I think it might have been Guardians of the Galaxy as well was also playing on that screen. Again, full DVD quality and with sound as well, and people were stood around watching it. So that happens in China. Those kind of things do happen in China. Copyright issues are not like as enforced as they are in the West, for example, and it's not really thought about that much. Software piracy is a problem as well. I'm not making this video to beat on China or anything. I am just making this video as a discussion point, just because it was something that I noticed the other day, and I wanted to just make a quick video on it to show you guys. One of the other things in China is as well things like rules, as obviously I was saying, but I'll give you an example. When I went to England in September 2014, I felt a big how can I say? I really felt the culture difference in England this time when I went, because I hadn't been home to England in a few years, and I think because I've been living in like a smaller town, I could really feel it. But one of the things that I did notice was sort of like the culture of rules. I'll give you an example. In China, if I go into a restaurant and I order some food, and I get some noodles or rice or whatever it may be, I can also say, like, bring in this coffee. It's not a problem. I can bring in this coffee that I bought from McDonald's and I can drink it in the restaurant. I could also bring in some other snacks as well if I wanted to. I could, and nobody cares. So long as I'm ordering food in that restaurant and I've paid money in that restaurant, if I sit down and I also happen to have like a muffin in there that I bought from somewhere else, it's okay. It's nobody gives a shit, and it's fine as long as you're paying the money. Some places will enforce it though. I did notice in the middle of Shanghai that they did enforce that, and they said no, you can't eat other food in here. But in England, when I went to get a Costa coffee with my mum, we both had two big Costa coffees, and I had bought a Subway sandwich, and I wanted to eat the sandwich and sit down with my mum and have the coffee and the sandwich at the same time. And my mum was saying, "Oh no, you can't do that. It's not allowed. They'll kick you out or something like that." And my mum was like trying to cover up the Subway sandwich with like one of the signs or something like that. So it was pretty funny because my mum was like worried that they were going to come over and kind of like, kick us out and, so you can't do that. And my mum was really worried. And I was like, no, who gives a shit? I've bought 2 coffees. I've bought a lot of coffee from Costa. And so what? Who cares? But they didn't see me anyway, and I had the Subway sandwich. But it was interesting to notice that again, that my mum was worried that, and other people in England would do the same and say, no, you can't eat that here because it's Costa and you didn't buy the sandwich here. So that was really interesting to kind of like experience after a while. The other situation as well was I was in a supermarket again with my mother, just walking around, and I had purchased I wanted to buy a can of cola, and I was really thirsty, so I just grabbed it off the shelf and I just opened it in the supermarket, and I was just drinking it as I was walking around. But then my mum was like really worried that someone would come over and like say something to me, and I think there was like a girl who was shopping there, a girl who was working there, and she was sort of staring at me, making sure I wasn't gonna rob it, and I think she was following me a little bit down the aisles. But I was just drinking the cola, and then I went to the checkout and I paid for it. I just gave them the empty can and they scanned it. It's not a problem. So I get it. I get obviously they're worried about people like stealing. But the point was, in China, you can kind of do it and nobody really cares. Like, there's loads of times when I've gone into a shop and I've just opened something and I've like had a drink of it or a bite of it and then I've paid at the counter. Nobody seems to really care so much. So it's interesting. The culture of rules is different. It feels in England that it's very I can't think of the word. Is it stringent? Strict, I guess. The rules feel very hard in England. For example, driving as well. Driving is very different in China. Chinese drivers are sort of less patient and they don't follow the rules quite as much. Again, not to beat down on any set of people or whatever. There's a lot of great drivers in China, and there's a lot of bad drivers overseas as well. But generally in China, they don't give way to each other very much, and there's a lot of crashes on the road. Like every single week or 2 weeks, I'll see a crash on the road, and probably because someone's been impatient and they've not they're not given way. But in England, as I was saying, the rules are a lot more stringent, and it felt like. It felt a little strange for me, to be honest, when I went back this time. The rules being so stringent because I don't know how to explain it. It felt like everyone was very, very boxed in England, and people seem to care a little bit too much about things. Like, who cares that I've just bought 2 Costa coffees and I'm sitting down with this sandwich as well. Who cares? I've purchased the product and I just want to sit down and have this sandwich. Does it matter if I sit like a couple of meters away in their seating section? No. Who cares that I bought this can of Coke and I'm drinking it before I've actually paid for it. Who cares? So it feels like England is very, very strict and very rigid with their rules, not quite as open in many ways. So I think I've gotten used to the China life a little bit more now. So obviously, but with things like the software and playing that movie and so on in the mall, obviously that's a bad thing and that shouldn't happen. Especially since we are in the software media, whatever you want to call it, that business, and so obviously piracy is a problem, and so I think that needs to be a little bit more strict. But I think England often feels so strict that people don't want to go outside of the box of convention or whatever. So, but I thought it was just an interesting point to bring up because I definitely felt that when I went to England in September this year, and it was just something that I noticed when I saw that movie, the Turtles movie, being played on the that public screen in the middle of a mall with sound as well. And there's been people who actually sit around and watch it. I saw some guys watching it the other day. That was pretty interesting. So But yeah, I'm wondering, is it the same where you are, guys? Are rules are they as strict? Is it a good thing or bad thing? Because it's not always a good thing. It really isn't. Honestly, I mean, it's good for a society to have rules in place, and of course, and have a culture of rules and laws or whatever, but not to the point where it feels like you're treading on eggshells. Oh, don't do this, don't do that. No, who gives a shit? Just you're not breaking the law, and you're gonna pay for it. Whatever, who cares? But anyway, there's that new building that's coming up now. It's going to be a Starbucks downstairs there. That's dangerous for me because I'm going to have one every single day. I'm saving money here, but when that thing opens, it's going to be hard for me to resist it because I do enjoy a good Starbucks coffee. So anyway, guys, like I said, let me know what you think about if it's the same in your country, if the rules are as hard or as strict, or is it pretty open like in China, and the culture of rules is not as developed, or does it need to be? Is it a good thing or bad thing? Because sometimes, honestly, I don't think it is a good thing. So look at these guys here. You can see these cars here just not giving way. That always happens. It drives me crazy. I'm trying to keep calm with it. So, but anyway, guys, please like this video. Please subscribe. I hope it was interesting, or not really useful, just interesting. Please hit the like and subscribe button. I'm gonna do more of these personal videos, and you can come and meet me on howtomakemobilegames.com. And I'm replying to comments down there, not on YouTube at the moment. But anyway, guys, take care. Bye bye.